Are you getting ready to have a baby and you want to know how the policies, procedures, and protocols in the hospital can affect you? And why won't some hospitals give you the information about those policies? Why can't they show you a copy or just have you look on the screen when they pull them up? Let's talk about it. My name is Dawn, and I know it's been a long time no see, but here's the thing. I've been taking care of myself, and I hope you're doing the same for you. When it comes to the policies and procedures, you have to understand that most of those are for the hospital staff to give us guidelines, to help us to stay within the scope of practice for the nurses, the doctors, the techs, for everybody in the hospital. And most of them are to keep you safe as well. The unfortunate thing is that a lot of policies take a really long time to change over. So not all hospital policies reflect the best, most updated evidence-based care. And so if it's a policy about eating or drinking in labor, they can tell you what the policy is. They can tell you the risks and benefits of eating and not eating in labor, and you get to make a decision. Remember, there are no risk-free options in birth, in pregnancy, in labor. There is always a risk for something. And so you, as the patient, have to decide where you're comfortable with the risks, okay? Easier said than done, right? But this is my recommendation to you, because sometimes some nurses, not all, but there are some who will say it is our policy that you give birth on your back. I've worked in 5 hospitals in 4 different states, and never have I seen a policy that stated that. You should be able to give birth in a position that you're capable of getting into with or without support, and that the baby's heart rate's doing fine in, right? And you should be able to give birth in that position, not in a position that's easy for us. You shouldn't be worried about what's easy for us during your labor and birth. You should be following the guidance of what your body's telling you to do. Because there are some people whose bodies are telling them to arch their back or close their knees, shift the shape of their pelvis in a way to help get baby out. I was raised as a nurse to believe that everybody should give birth on their back with their legs wide open, their knees basically up to their ears. And that's not the case. Once you learn about the biomechanics of the pelvis and you understand how things open and close based on what you're doing with your legs, it becomes way more apparent that we way over medicalized everything when it came to bringing birth into the hospitals. So let's stop doing that. Let's allow these women to speak up for themselves, to share what it is they need, to decide where to take the risks, and we can support them in whatever way they need. We, as healthcare professionals, can simply chart patient declined to give birth on her back. Patient has been informed that no eating or drinking in labor is recommended according to our policies in this hospital. She has chosen to eat and or drink at this time regardless, because that's what she feels she needs. And if we chart appropriately, our butts are covered. We don't have to worry about us as staff. And worrying about ourselves shouldn't be the first thing anyway, right? We're there to keep them safe. So let's do so. And for all those naysayers who like to say, oh, if you're going to go into the hospital and you're going to not follow their policies and procedures, why don't you just give birth at home? All I have to say to that is, what if you have a heart patient who comes in and doesn't want to eat the heart healthy diet we tell them? Or what if we have a diabetic patient who comes in and they're still eating candy bars and eating things that they shouldn't be eating as a diabetic? Are we not going to treat them because they're not following policy? No, that's not how it works. We're supposed to give individualized care to the best of our ability, to the way that we can for each and every patient, even when we disagree with the way that they want their care received. All right, what was your experience? Did you ask for something and they said you couldn't do it because it was against hospital policy? What did you decide to do next? Did you decide to go against policy or follow along to keep the peace? Let us know what your decision was here in the comments, and don't forget to like, follow, and share for more.